So we are now in the second park, and here you can see a small scheme of it.
Yeah. So the second park was the largest project that we had in development on the server at this time. The plan was that after Yakijiwan, since we've always been looking to constantly one-up ourselves and, how do we best ourselves? How do we beat this mega land? Well, obviously, you build a park. And I worked a lot on this right after Yakijiwan Valley opened. But unfortunately, I was not able to get the support for it. So we ended up moving on to other projects. But yeah, you can see a lot of areas were planned out for this park. 2 areas were built. One of them was mostly built, which is a medieval area named Dark Forest. It is my favorite land I've ever built in Minecraft. And then the other area that was built was Porto De La Vita, I believe. It's an Italian Riviera-themed entrance land. About half of that was built, basically the right side. So Dark Forest has 3 rides. There's an Intamin Blitz coaster called Dullahan, a trackless dark ride called Dracula's Castle, and a boat ride that would take you through a mysterious, creepy bog and into an abandoned fort. Yeah, I'm extremely proud of this area. And take a look around.
Yeah, wait, come to
Yeah.
me, then I can go inside
Okay.
you. I think that's
All right.
better. Okay, I'm inside. Let's start.
Yeah. So, as you can see here, the second park was also planned to have a train ride that would take you through all of the areas and with various stations around the park. This area here is sort of like the town square area of Dark Forest. There were obviously gated walls, and this area had the entrance to Dullahan right here, and the queue is right here. Basically takes you through a mausoleum and down into the catacombs. Would have had a pre-show explaining the legend of the Headless Horseman, which the ride's based around. And then from here, you just would have went up this really cool staircase room. This kind of there's like a bunch of graves in here. Yeah. So you basically would have climbed up that staircase and you would have made your way into the station, and there would have been a drop track in here, a little show scene, and then you would have gone onto the coaster part. The coaster part was largely inspired by Velocicoaster and Pantheon. It's a very low to the ground coaster with a lot of twisted hills, overbanks, and even a swing launch sequence, which is where I'm at the swing launch sequence right now. You would just basically launch forward, you would stop, you would roll back, you would launch again backwards and roll up that hill there, and then you would stop near the top so you don't, fly off the track. And then you would roll forwards, launch a third time, and then climb up that top hat, and then drop down and complete the rest of the coaster's course.
So it's kind of like Star Trek?
Yeah, that's a good comparison too.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was. This is my favorite coaster layout that I've ever built. I build the coasters on here and stuff. I just really enjoy doing it, and yeah, one of my favorite parts of running the server, besides building in general. So yeah, outside of Dullahan, we also had Dracula's Castle, which this is the facade for it. It is a giant trackless dark ride. The story of this ride is that Dracula, as the lord of the town where Dark Forest is located in, he was inviting you into his castle for a grand feast to welcome your arrival into his town. And this was a pre-show where he would just be talking to you about welcoming you in and about the feast and whatnot. But the rest of the queue took you through parts of his castle, like the conservatory, a hall of knights in armor, and then up this spiral staircase. And this is the station in here. You would board your trackless ride vehicles in here, very similar to Rise of the Resistance overall. And then you would enter the dining hall. And here, as the feast began, the plot twist would be revealed that Dracula is a vampire, and so to protect his secret from reaching the rest of the townsfolk, he goes after a mad chase on you through his castle to kill you and ensure that the secret doesn't get out. And from here, basically, the two vehicles would break apart and go into some different scenes, like a kitchen and a servant's quarters, and then they would rejoin here in this gigantic night hallway where the knights would spring to life and chase after you. And from here, this is honestly like my favorite scene on the whole ride. This is the balcony scene where basically you would go outdoors and there would be thunder and stuff, and you would just be facing the castle and going into another part of it, which was going to be the library. And from here, you would go throughout the castle. You would have 2 more encounters with Dracula, and then you would rush outside. You'd go through a graveyard and whatnot, and then return into the castle for one final encounter with Dracula and have a mad dash through the catacombs, and then the ride would be over.
Wow, what a massive ride.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's really. We really wanted to make it amazing. Like, we wanted to make it like our version of Rise of the Resistance, pretty much. A really groundbreaking, crazy, just gigantic scale ride. Didn't want to hold anything back on this one.
It looks just like Art City or Planet Coaster, a ride which is built just one park for this one ride.
Oh, well, thank you. Means a lot, man. Yeah, we really, really wanted to make this ride amazing, and this whole park amazing, pretty much. The vision with this park was always to make it the best custom park in Minecraft, beating out Craft Venture. And while we have been able to take Kw6 World very far, since that park's very old, we are constantly having to redo and rebuild things. Whereas with this park, we could just build fresh. We don't have to worry about rebuilding and redoing. So this park really had crazy amounts of potential, and I'm really proud of where this park's gotten to. So the rest of Dark Forest, the outside of the main town, this is just kind of like a rural area with some, windmill, some farming houses, some houses along the river. And then here is the boat ride that would take you into the creepy, mysterious bog. You would basically be encountering monsters and cryptids and whatnot along your journey. It would have been a really scary, spooky ride. Just in layman's terms, it would have been it basically was supposed to be spooky, enchanted streams. And then the climax entailed you would basically climb a lift hill into the fort, and then you would have an encounter with a monster here right before you drop out of the fort back outside and into the bog. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then here's just
trees.
A little splash pad. Yeah. Love these. And then this was a little treetops rope trail. Actually, bridge trail, with just some more little soakers on here. This was a really nice little detail. And then outside of Dark Forest, the other area that was built was Porto De La Vita, which is the entrance area of this second park, which is called Forbidden World. Sorry for not mentioning that sooner. Porto De La Vita was heavily inspired by the Italian Riviera, and naturally, because a lot of the Italian Riviera is built on the cliff sides and built on the tops of cliffs and whatnot, to make this main street really unique, I had the idea that, hey, why don't we put it up on cliffs? Why don't we have all these height differences and whatnot to it? So this main street basically has 3 levels to it. The top level right here, this is the park's entrance, where there was going to be a hotel back there and whatnot. You also have a big theater up here for plays and such, and of course a bunch of shops and restaurants scattered throughout this land. The middle level would have had mainly shops and restaurants, along with a bunch of viewing from a nighttime fireworks spectacular over the park's lagoon, which would have gone right here. The park was very heavily inspired by Tokyo Disney Sea and Islands of Adventure. And then the bottom level of this area would have had bridges off to the rest of the park, dark forest in that direction, and then some other areas in that direction. And over here, we were planning out a vineyard area with a slot car dark ride themed to actually the Mafia. Would have been really interesting, and this was one of the later things planned in this area.
Wow, pretty interesting.
We just knew that we wanted to do a pretty big ride in this area to just kind of give this area a draw, you know, besides it being the main street. But yeah, I'm extremely proud of this area as well as Dark Forest. And while Dark Forest is my favorite, I still really love this area, and I'm really proud with how far.
Well, I have to say that one thing I found out that every server has a main street. And I think, well, why? Why aren't there not servers which who are doing another thing than a main street? Something special, and I think this is something special here. It's not just a main street, it's something different.
Yeah, I mean, we've always, as a server, we've always really strived to be unique. We've always strived to be, you know, first of its kind, you know, provide an experience that other servers don't. And that really also came down to the design philosophy with this park. You know, every land that was planned to be in this park, well, most of them were supposed to be extremely unique. They were planned to be very different from anything else in the community. Like, if you look at this main street, most main streets that you see are just a single street, and they're very flat, and they just have a bunch of buildings on both sides. With this park, I really did not want to do that, because Kw6 World has a main street like that, and while it's a nice main street, it's very basic, and we really wanted to make this park really interesting and unique, and just provide this such of a one-of-a-kind experience that you could only get on this server, and I really think it fits that bill. Surprisingly, this was actually the second attempt on our second park. We started the second park. We started a second park back in June of 2020, but we worked on it for like half of the summer. However, we rushed into it without any clear plan or vision, so it wasn't up to our standards. It wasn't exactly a bad park. Like, it was nice, but since we have always been going for, we want to make this the best custom park in Minecraft, that certainly would not have been the best. Whereas I think this certainly had the potential to be the best, judging by what's here.
So at least we are back here at Kokomo's Alpine Adventure. First of all, we missed one animation thing here. And the next thing, I found out that we forgot to show you Zorin over Camp Wupperwagel. So first of all, I have to do this right again. And well, it's nothing the less you got another vision of this ride. Second time, like as you watching the German and the English videos again, but yeah, I think we don't have to do this animations because I already show you. Yeah, so well, we have to go through this ride because in the end we're going on a pressure plate where we get spectator mode, so we can go inside the left attraction. I will do F1 now, because then you have more sight over this ride. And yeah, I like this ride, this unfinished ride. Well, okay, someone did this, I don't know why. Some stuff happening here. Ooh. Build, there's so many dirt in there, I don't know. I like this ride, it's so amazing. Hi goat. Well, in 1.17 I think you, on the Hills and Cliffs update, you don't need making a goat because you already get one modeled goat then. crazy cavern. Interesting things here. Oh lol, they fixed this ice block there. Wow. And this only for that the people who are doing this ride can enjoying it. That's interesting. Oh, there's the GT again. The walls coming down there. Mountaineer village. What's he doing there? When you, as you can see, this ride is more fluently because it's a little bit a part of the other area. So this will be a good thing too. So now I have the invisible thingy, and where we can, this is the Bergstadt, and where we can just go through the track here, because he only showed you from outside, and I just want to follow the tracks again for you. Let's do this. So here we go. Then we have bridge, tilt track, backwards scene, and frost giant encounter. Then I think it's going backwards. Down here. Then we have frost giant encounter again. Oh, it's going outside. The outside part is coming. Oh, interesting scene here. Going back outside. On the other side, okay. Ah, it's going back again. Frost giant encounter, this third time. And here we are in this nice ice scene. Interesting ride design, look at this. Going here, and then they are crossing here together. Then it's going back in here. Long way. And here they stopping. Yes, but now I want to show you the Zorin Ride, of course. So let's move to Camp Wupperbagel. Yes, it's here. So the last ride I want to show you is Zorin over Wupperbagel. Here, Zorin over Wupperbagel. Opening soon sometimes, but now we are going inside it. Yeah, now we are in this queue line of this attraction here. So we invite photos. This is the entrance, this is the exit. An interesting thing about it, it's not so a flying simulator, such in Kw6craft. First of all, here Wupperbagel Museum panels. It's a suspended, it should be a suspended dark ride. Hang glider models hanging from sailing, okay? Here we have this entrance. Then we are going inside here. Here's small free show, I think. Then this will open. We go this way. And then we are going up here. And then we will start here. And then you can see that here some schematics is already placed, but you have a storyline board right here, so that you can see what happens here in this ride. Zorin over Wupperbagel, the storyboard. So let's see. The pre-show campers are told about hang gliding challenge, given instructions, safety, spiel, etc. First, training course. Riders depart the station and enter a training course with obstacles. They then proceed to the launch bay. Second, race flight scene. Depart launch bay and exit to fly over Camp Wupperwege with other gliders alongside. Third, hunters normal scale fly over area around Eagles Mountain. A band of hunters, Clark and Derek, walking through forest below. One shouts, "Look, it's a whooper bird," and they shoot arrows at the glider. The glider swings side to dodge them. Okay. Fourth, forests, cliffs. Fly through various scenes, slowly increasing in altitude with camper shenanigans, animals, etc. Fifth, rainstorm, small scale. Fly up to mountain peaks and soar above Wupperwege forests. Rain comes down from above with lightning bolts striking and the glider having to dodge. Glider swings side to side in the turbulent weather. Sixth, mountain peaks, small scale. Glider flies up in between rocky mountain peaks, passing by goats, landslides, ravines, etc. Seventh, waterfalls final, normal scale. Riders follow river branching off of lake. Glider swoops down into river, follows it into a gorge with waterfall in the back. Riders fly through waterfall and into a cave. Eighth, cave unload, normal scale. Inside waterfall cavern there's a nest of baby whopper birds fluttering about, followed by unload platform. Yeah, this is the story of the Zorin over Camp Wupperwege. Well, this storyline sounds so amazing. I think, yeah, it's so sad that we will never see this attraction working. Yes, so to conclude this series, I first have to say thank you for the 6 years of Kw6craft. You did an amazing job. You are one of the innovative servers in the theme park universe besides Adventure, because so many new ideas, this nice platforms, this golden plates where you can trigger effects to discover the theme areas are so amazing, and your theme areas are not only the same as the other servers. For example, One Hard Time Discovery Land or so, or Mexico, or the theme lands we saw so many times in other servers, where you did new areas. You thought about innovative storylines of your attractions, and yeah, and this animations. Well, I didn't saw the second park which had a dark ride of so many animations. It's so crazy. Yeah, I hope that someday we will see you working on the second park, so that you want to start this server again. Maybe we see this park here again too, but I don't think that we will see some of this builded rides. But yeah, thank you for this amazing journey here. This main title theme of Kw6craft will underline the sadness of the closing of the server. Thank you for visiting the series, and keep the server in mind. We are waiting for new things to come from you, Kw6craft, or maybe from the queue likes to pop up. I don't know. We'll see. So until then, see you. Bye.